Hello, and welcome to Learning for Wins, a podcast designed to help you learn all about American football. I'm Craig Havens, and with me is Jonathan Almanzar. All right, we're going to talk a little defense right now. Pretty excited about this. Defense seems more fun to me.
Don't be
than
so
offense.
defensive.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be. I apologize.
So do you think a good defense is the best offense or a good offense is the best defense?
Good offense is the best defense,
Yeah,
but I
think
still
so, too.
like defense.
Because the name of the game is points, right?
It is, but at the same time, you know, the thing that excites me about defense is you get to hit somebody. Like, it's that hitting. Now, if you're a running back, you get to run over somebody, but it's that hit. You know when the receiver's up in the air and the defender comes and clocks him?
With the bone crunching
and the guy ends up doing a flip and landing down, or like he's running along and just gets smacked in the side as he catches the ball. Like, that stuff to me, it's disappearing. We're protecting everybody, whatever. Yeah. But I mean, they don't protect people in boxing.
I think
why do we have to protect people in football?
Incredible when this NFL season first starts. I'm always taken aback at the violence in it, like the hitting. Seriously, like the first game or two I watch, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
oh.
But you know what? In the towards the middle, it stops.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same effect.
No,
there's only one once
once
in a while. Yeah.
But if you watch some old clips, it is insane watching these old defensive tackles go hit. Like Troy Aikman, how did he live? How is he alive?
I don't know, but he didn't stay long enough.
Yeah, because he kept getting concussions.
And not for nothing, he didn't sit back in the pocket forever because he wasn't really that throwing quarterback. Like he had Emmitt Smith back there. So yeah. So we're gonna talk defense.
Okay.
And I'm excited. Go ahead.
Well, you get the first. I got the first pick in offense of who is the most important player on the team.
Wow.
And I'm going to give you the option of choosing the most important. And this is more difficult.
This is actually more difficult
than offense. And I'm going to say something at the very beginning. Well, no, I won't.
How specific? So I'm going to go with linebacker, but I'm going to go specifically middle linebacker.
Okay.
But linebacker is important.
So real quick, as you say this, I'm glad this is what I was getting ready to say. The NFL would not agree with you.
Oh, no.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
The pay scale would not agree with you.
Correct.
Where they get drafted would not agree with you. Linebackers seem to be an overlooked thing in the NFL, but they are so incredibly important.
They are probably on your defense one of the most athletic person.
Yeah.
So
describe them to me.
Smart.
Like what am I looking for when I look for a good linebacker?
To me, this is your quarterback of the defense. So they have to have a good head on their shoulder and understanding of the game and what's going on.
Okay.
They are the guy.
So they're calling plays?
They're the ones pointing out. Yeah, they are. So you've got a green dot on your helmet if you're the one that's in communication with the sideline, if they can talk to you. So this guy's telling them what to do. He's also making sure that we're filling in. We're making sure that the running back doesn't get through. We're making sure that we're getting. So he's directing people on there. He's, to me, the defensive quarterback. He's also the guy that's got to be able to cover. He's got to be able to blitz. He's got to be able to do so many things. He's very athletic. He's going to be a strong build. He's going to be fast. He doesn't have to be tall, but he can't be too short.
Okay.
So that is my most important person. Now, to me, the middle linebacker is the guy that matters the most. But you got your Sam and your Mike, and we'll get into those at some point in the future.
Isn't Mike your middle linebacker?
Sam, Mike, and Will.
Yeah.
So you got your Sam, who's your strong side, your Will, which is your weak side, and your Mike, which is your middle linebacker.
Explain those a little bit real quick, because I think we can.
Well, I mean, you've got your strong side, which is the guy that's going to be. So you've got on your offensive line, you've got your tight end, who's going to be on one side, which is going to be your stronger side. So that guy's you're going to have your Sam linebacker, who's going to be on that side. You've got your Will on your weak side, and you've got your Mike, which is your middle linebacker. So Sam is strong, Will is weak, and
those are
Mike
called outside linebackers.
These are inside linebackers.
And then,
they're all inside linebackers.
Okay, and so your two outside linebackers
so your outside linebackers are on your front line. So they're going to be you got a 3-4 and a 2-4, or a 3-4 and a 4-3.
This is one place that we could get into like a rabbit hole and a little bit of trouble.
And
we are going to explain some defensive and offensive strategies in another episode, but for the sake of it here, we're just going to go with what we call a 4-3 defense, which is four defensive linemen, three linebackers, and then four defensive backs. So in a 3 linebacker set, you have a middle linebacker and 2 outside linebackers, correct?
Yep.
And what is the difference between a middle linebacker and an outside linebacker in like their attributes?
So outside linebackers are going to be they're going to be your edge rushers. They're going to be they'll be like an edge rusher. They're also going to cover. So they're more like a defensive end.
So they're a little faster.
They're a little faster
than your middle linebacker.
They're going to be bigger. They're going to be a bigger player. So they're going to be able to push these guys around. Right. They're going to also have to come out and cover. Okay. So they're going to have to. They might be right on top, right over a tight end, for example.
Yeah.
And that tight end goes on a quick out route. They're going to have to cover them.
Okay.
They might have to cover the running back on a swing pass or something like that. Whereas with the defensive end, defensive ends aren't doing coverage. But we'll get into that stuff as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so these are your inside linebackers. We're doing a 4-3 right now, not a 3-4.
Right.
On a 3-4, you've got 3 offensive linemen and 2 linebackers on the outside.
Yeah.
So, and 2 on the inside.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. You're up.
My turn. So I would say since it's a snake draft, I get 2 picks. So I'm going to make these 2 guys interchangeable, and I'm going to say I'm going to go with the defensive end.
Okay.
As the next most important player. And the defensive end is, if you see your line, and we're going with the 4-3 line, so you have your 2 tackles in the middle, and on the outside you have your 2 defensive ends. You have a right defensive end and a left defensive end. They're going to be big. They're going to be 6'5", 6'6", because they need to bat down balls. They need to make it where the quarterback cannot see over them, so they're going to have long arms. They're going to be rangy. These are your athletic freaks.
They're the guys you always hear the coach yell, contain, contain, contain. Yep.
These guys are athletic freaks. In fact, there was a guy whose nickname was the Freak, Javon Curse, who was a defensive end. They're, like I said, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". They're going to be 260, 70, 80 pounds. Probably not very often are they over that weight, but right around there. They're long, they're athletic, extremely strong, extremely quick. They can do spin moves, all these different kinds of things. And their whole job, most of the time, is to kill whoever has the ball. If the quarterback's holding the ball, it's get past that offensive tackle and get to the quarterback by any means. If a running back is running to the outside, it's to push them back to the inside or kill them. Get them immediately. If it's a screen pass,
can't say kill anymore.
It's to grab that guy and pull him to the ground. They are just pursuit happy, pursuit crazy. It's like, go get that guy with the ball. Yeah. And typically they're probably either your most highest paid or second highest paid player on your defensive side of the ball.
All right.
And then my other one that I get, because it's a snake draft, is cornerback. Not just defensive backs in general. Cornerback.
And you have to break it down that way, yes.
And cornerbacks will be the people that cover the wide receivers.
Yep.
They're typically...
They got to be super tall, right?
They're anywhere between 5'8", and sometimes you get one that's 6'1" or 6'2". They're not usually as tall.
So they're not that
tall.
tall.
One of the things
How
about...
do they defend?
One of the things about... They usually can jump. They're really fast. They're the fastest guys on the team, usually. Even faster than wide receivers.
Faster than quarterbacks,
even faster than wide receivers. Yep. So they're extremely fast. But one of the things is at a certain height, they lose their mobility. And so these guys have to have like very mobile and agile hips. They talk about hip movement a lot with defensive backs.
Okay.
Because they have to react, which something we've talked about before that I think is so stupid is when the field is slippery, they say it hurts the defense more than the offense, or like all these different kinds of things. But the offensive player does know where they're going, and the defensive player is having to react. So they're facing the wide receiver. They're having to turn and run. They react on the receiver. They react on a ball. They're watching eyes. And they also say that these guys have to have no memory because they're going to get burned time and time again, and they just have to come back and believe, I'm the best player here. I'm the best player here. And that's what they do. They typically believe they're the best player on the field. They don't have as good a hands as wide receivers, or they'd be playing wide receiver, but they're far more athletic than wide receivers.
Okay. And I agree with you.
And it's between them and the defensive tackle on the highest paid.
Okay. And there are, tell me about a shutdown corner.
A shutdown corner is somebody that doesn't let receivers catch the ball, and they typically follow a receiver. They'll look at they take the best receiver on the field, and they shadow him wherever he goes, compared to another corner, which would be, I take this side, you take that side.
So are they going to be the guy that gets all the interceptions, or are they going to be the guy that
They don't have to get interceptions. They just have to prevent the other team from catching the ball.
Okay. So not a lot of balls thrown their way because they're that good. Okay, fair enough. So I'm going to go with, I guess I'll take the defensive tackle. Or not defensive tackle.
Yeah, you can take defensive tackle.
I can I?
Yeah.
I guess I will. So I'll take defensive tackle.
And in our 4-3, there's 2 of them.
Yes, and they're both inside.
Yep.
They go right between the guard and the center.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going to be the guy who stops the run. They're going to rush the quarterback if there is no run. So their initial thing is to keep that gap, the opening between the they've got their gap assignment. If it's between the guard and the center or it's between the guard and the tackle, they're gonna fill that gap. Nobody's getting through that hole.
So
they're gonna stand up their guy, basically. So they're gonna stand up the guard, the offensive guard, and they're going to block the hole on either side to keep them. They're fat. They're your squatter.
Okay.
They're the guy that you don't want to mess with in the middle. That's why, and they're going to stop the run. Now, if it's not a run play, then they're free to go up and get into the quarterback's face.
Do you think they stink worse than some of the other players?
I absolutely figure, you don't want to be anywhere near them after the game. Like, I'm thinking, like, not the guy.
So they're like a little bit dirty compared to some of the other players.
No, they come back with dirt all over them, a little bit of blood. They're the guys with the blood down the jersey, and it's not theirs, but you don't know where it came from because where's that guy? That guy's probably dead and now buried because they're a big guy. They probably stomped him into the ground. But, so I like that guy it's key to the run. And if you don't have that guy on your team, that's where the running back becomes the third most important person on the offense.
So it takes a bad defensive tackle to make a running back important.
I'm just saying. There's only so much.
I feel like in that moment, any running back could run through the hole.
Oh,
right?
Do you think we can throw you or me in there and we can run through that?
Oh, against the Cowboys defensive line? Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure I could pick up a first down.
I want that day to come. I wish I knew somebody. All right. So
I would truck. Boom.
My next one's going to be the safeties, I guess, Since that's all that's left.
So there's a pair of safeties out there.
Free safeties and we got strong safeties.
So free safeties are...
Free safety is just that. He's free. He roams around. He's going to help out with... You've got the...
a side note?
Yeah.
That's my favorite position to play in football is the free safety.
Because you don't like rules. You don't like to be combined. You don't like
to
be
I like to be able to
tied
say,
down to this is your role,
right.
Jonathan.
I want to be able to say...
You want to be like, I'm over here.
I think this guy's going to throw the ball over there, and I'm going to go pick that off.
And you're not responsible enough to handle the guy yourself, so you're like, I'll help you.
Right.
But when the ball's in the air, I'm going to grab it so I get the glory.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So that guy is going to be...
Or when the guy's not looking, I'm just going to lay him out.
Right,
I'm going to clock him so hard.
And then you're going to sit there when the ref calls you for a bad hit for a defenseless receiver. You're going to throw up your arms like, what?
I'll be standing over the guy, looking down at him.
Yep, getting the penalty for that.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you got your strong safety, and he's your guy that's going to be a lot of help up front. So you're going to blitz him. You're going to use him, for a lot of run defense and things like that. So,
and
these
how are
guys,
they built?
They're built like a cornerback, a lot like a cornerback. Okay. They're still fast. They're still strong. The strong safety is
are they
the
as
guy
fast as a cornerback?
No. Yeah. No, they don't have to be because they're set back so a cornerback might line up like within 7 yards of the receiver. These safeties are back farther. Okay. Now you might move your strong safety right up towards the line, and then offensively they got to figure out a way to cover them, and that's where also your running back becomes more important because that's that blitz defense that I was talking about where he has to pick up the blitzer. Mm-hmm. So see, lots of room here for a running back to move forward in priority. But so these guys are not they're strong hitters, and they're quick, they're agile, athletic, but
cool.
I wouldn't even say they're the least, but they seem to fall into that
least.
place.
I think they're the
least. I mean they're called safeties for a reason.
They're the running back.
They're called safeties
They're
for
the running back of the defense.
They're your safety net that you're hoping you don't need. Yeah.
They're the running back of the defense. So now let's go on. We have a little bit more time to kill. So let's go to the. You said I couldn't say it, but I did. Let's go to the special teams now.
All right, special teams. Yeah. So your favorite position, I'm going to just tell you what your favorite position is. It's the kicker.
No, long snapper. I love the long snapper because nobody can line up in front of him. So there's basically 4 positions really, right? 5.
Oh, you got gunners. You got but you can't say that anymore either.
So basically all the people that aren't good enough to start on offense and defense are thrown onto special teams, and they play various roles.
Sometimes they're thrown on there to hold a spot because the team wants them. They see potential in them,
but they're not good enough.
They're not ready yet.
So they're on special teams.
Yep.
You have your returners. Those guys are usually fast, tricky. Sometimes they're starters. Sometimes they're
a wide receiver.
or a
cornerback.
In a big moment of a game, maybe they run them.
Yep. Deion Sanders was a returner.
Put him back there. But you have your long snapper who snaps the ball. I don't know why he's different than a normal guy, but I guess because he just practices that snap constantly.
I think it's got to be because of the accuracy of throwing it, because you've seen them go over the quarterback's head, and that's disaster.
Yeah, so it's just
a punter's head.
Constantly, that person, that's all they make $1 million a year to snap the ball really far.
I'm good with that, and nobody can line up over you. That's the guy.
Let's go to the 2 kickers for a minute.
Yep. 2?
The punter and the kicker.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're not the same person.
This
They're
is called
separate
football.
people.
Why are there only 2 people that use their feet?
I don't really know.
Okay.
But I know that I wish there wasn't a punter in football.
Yeah, I agree.
I really think like
Sometimes I wish there wasn't
there is
a
that one
place
kid.
kicker.
There's that there. Okay, so you and I had this conversation,
Yes.
and I said, why don't a punter? Why don't they just practice so much that they put the ball exactly where they want it?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Exactly where they want it. And we talked about, it may not be possible that. And then that kid from Kansas State comes out,
Yeah.
and he can kick the ball exactly where he wants it.
And that's the exception, not the rule. And you keep wanting to make it the rule, and
also,
it's not.
but it
just
should be
doable. It
should be the rule. Like this isn't. I could see it being like if this was some athletic freakism that this guy had. It's not. It's just practice. Practice. It's just skill that he's developed.
Are you talking practice?
And I think that
Are you talking about
I'm
practice?
talking about practice, man. Not the game. Not the game. Not the game.
All right.
Practice. And so this is just him practicing over and over and over to put this ball exactly
But
where
he
it
has
needs to
so
be.
many other things to practice. He's got to practice throwing the ball.
No,
He's
he just
catching-
needs to practice
catching the ball.
punting this. And also, there's several things here. I also think on kickoffs, they should kick it where the guy is sprinting and he kicks it to him almost like a pass play, and he catches it on kickoffs because you can do that on kickoffs. Like, I don't know why they kick the ball along the ground on.
Squid kicks?
Yeah.
Because it starts the clock.
Yeah, but
It's lame.
yeah. No. I'm talking about on onside kicks when they kick it along the ground for
gotcha.
10 yards. Kick it like 15 yards and let this guy run underneath it.
Well, we've
to
seen
catch
that
it.
where they bounce it. Basically, it's
Yeah.
kicked into the ground that goes back up in the air, and then if you can get that done right, which if you practice,
I also think
practice.
punters should learn to kick it into the back of the guys that are
The
turning
gunners.
and running backwards. Yeah. Kick it off that dude's back, and then your guy picks it up right there. I think there's so much to the kicking game that we haven't even begun to explore. We're just scratching the surface on it. I really like, we talk about how funny this is, and I think that we really, really, really need to institute emotional and psychological training for field goal kickers.
I'm agreeing with
They
you.
need to be the kind of person that if they were in war, they're not giving up. They're prisoner of war. They're never spilling secrets. That's how hard that they are mentally. But our kickers are fragile mentally.
Oh, they're super fragile.
And if we could increase their mentality to be rock hard, solid, like a Warriors mentality, then these kickers aren't
Could
going to
you
be out there
imagine?
missing extra points.
A warrior
I mean,
kicker.
I can.
I would love to have a kicker so good we have to buy their jersey.
Yes.
but you can't.
No.
because they're wimps.
Yeah, and
they're just
plus I'm too big for their jerseys. Like they don't sell them outside of kid size. But like there's not like we joked about me running through the hole there.
Yeah.
There's nothing on a football field I could do
Right.
except
Kick.
I could kick an extra point
why
right
don't
now.
they
I could
just
walk out there
make-
right now and kick an extra point.
Why don't they just make a kicking school? There's got to be a kicking school,
a kicking
And you-
academy.
And you know what? If it's kick or be kicked.
Yeah.
Like if you're not going to kick it, you're going to pay. You're going to pay. It's going to. There's a
And
price.
you're doing things like
You're paying your tuition and you're out.
you're waking them up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You're marching them down to the ocean. They have
In
to
the-
swim a
in the
mile
rain.
into the
Yep.
ocean and back before they can get
Yeah.
breakfast. And they have to
They have
drag
to kick
a giant log.
They have to kick the field goal before they can get.
They
have to
can't
swim
eat.
out there, come back. Yes.
They
yes.
have to swim out their back,
Yes.
drag a log, and
Yep.
then they have to make 5 field goals and 5 extra points
Yes.
in a row before they can eat.
Your family is up there in a net hanging from a tree. There's a target in between the field goal post. You hit that target and it gently brings your children down, your family down. If you miss that target, it's a decent sized target. I'm not going to
Yeah.
make it impossible.
Right. Of
Okay. I mean,
course.
it's
You're
not
not a
impossible.
sadist.
Right. Yeah. I'm not horrible.
Yeah.
So it's a decent. I mean, it's like 12 feet.
Right.
10 feet. If you miss it, your family drops. Like,
I'm
and you know what? Now, how are you going to treat that? Because I'm paying you multiple millions of dollars to make that field
Right.
goal.
I also think that when they show up there, you take all their social media, you take it over, and you start posting
I like this.
awful, horrific things
Yes.
like dropping the wrong kind of language on there,
Yes.
being very offensive,
Yep.
attacking
everyone
people,
hate them.
showing tons of like nudity, all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and just make it one of the worst things ever. So that when they line up to kick that field goal, what is
Everyone hates
what's
me.
this field goal?
Yeah,
like
everyone hates
my
me.
family hates me. The world hates me. I'm a pariah. So what? This field goal is nothing. I can line up
I
there
got
and kick
this.
that through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've
Like-
taken everything from me.
Yeah. my family's hanging from a tree in a
Yeah,
net.
yeah. So this is nothing to me, and I think that psychological schooling, I'm going to call
Schooling. I like that. I like that.
that psychological education and that emotional, I'm going to say, hardening.
Emotional hardening and psychological schooling.
Education. Education. I like that
like
better.
it. No,
Psychological education and emotional hardening will make those kickers
Better people.
bulletproof.
Yeah.
Bulletproof.
Yeah.
I'm doing this exercise where I'm bulletproofing my knees. I think we should be bulletproofing our field goal kickers.
Yeah. On your other podcast, I think we should bring this up as a possible
Yeah, I'm down.
as
Yeah,
a possible company.
as a
We're going to start a school.
kicking academy.
School for kickers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deal.
Excellent. All right. Very good. We will we'll move on.
Okay.
Excellent. Great time. Great time. And I think this is a great idea. I think everyone's going to love it.
Yep.
Thank you again for listening to this Four Winds Media podcast. Please stop by our website at Four Winds Media and check out all of our podcasts. They can be listened to wherever you stream your favorite podcasts. If you'd like to share your thoughts, feel free to put your comments down below and like and subscribe to us. We hope to see you here again soon.